Hey Mary, I think I was, smiling and shaking my head and laughing throughout most of that video uh, for many reasons. I mean, I love everything you said, but um, when you mentioned that, that part in Varela's The Embodied Mind about laying down a path and walking, literally 5 minutes before I watched your video, I uploaded a video titled that, which I'm sure you'll watch. Um, so that's funny. But um, I'm certainly glad to share my education. Um, that is what the education consists of, sharing and understanding, reflecting one's own appropriation of a set of ideas written down in a book with others and, getting feedback. Um, you know, there are so many parallels that I'm finding between these two thinkers, Whitehead and Varela. Every time I continue to read Whitehead. Um, the way that Whitehead talks about societies of occasions. In other words, well, bodies, multicellular organisms, because they're made of societies of cells. So many events occurring, compressing into larger events um, that are organized and have a certain order and purpose to them. This is present in Whitehead in this sense, but in Varela's thought, um, it's present as well. It's autopoiesis. It's second order autopoiesis on the level of multicellular organisms. It's by structurally coupling to each other through this co-evolutionary process of organism environment transaction. You arrive at this organized society of coherent emergence and self-creating action, autonomous to a large degree. I mean, and this is true of every occasion, whether it's this multicellular organization or the individual cells, individual molecules, individual atoms, quarks, and who knows how much further down this society goes. Who knows? It's not who knows. It's we can't know. We can't reach the final level. If we did, by pointing it at it, by poking it, we would shatter it into something else. We can't just observe it, because to observe, we have to really technologically manipulate the energy around us and get it to perform certain things. And in getting it to perform these certain tasks, we are changing it. We're inventing new technologies. We're allowing nature to do things it couldn't have done prior to our having invented it. So we're changing the world as we know it. We participate, which is another parallel between these two guys. Enactivism is so called because it was emphasizing the role that activity plays in our perception. If we don't move around the world, if we don't learn to use objects with our hands, with our bodies, if we don't learn how to speak, to enunciate, if we don't learn how to write, we cannot think. We cannot be a full human being. We cannot really participate in society, in politics, in whatever it is that you consider reality to be through your social exchanges with others, whatever culture we participate in. You're participating. You're creating it as you go with others. Um, it's a process, in other words. So there are so many parallels um, that I'm really excited about. You know, pursuing this research topic and writing a paper about this eventually. I've only taken 3 hours of this course yet. I don't have another one until next week, next Thursday. But it's really early. But wow, this is definitely gonna come together nicely. I can foresee it, and I'm glad that you're interested in this, and that you've got the books there, and you've obviously studied them, and I'm just glad you're along with me on this journey of abstraction, because the abstraction is necessary. As difficult as it is, as tiring as it is, because it requires so much focus, right? So much mental energy to do this. But I think there is a reward, and the reward is a changed life, a transformed understanding. That's the power that language has. And by working through these issues, we are in essence building a machine of the soul, of the voice, changing the way we interact with each other, with our words, because of our words. And another connection just came to me that, Varela was a practicing Buddhist, obviously, and one of the central principles of the Mahayanist school that he followed was that it was dependent origination, which I think Nagarjuna formulated, which is just that every entity is in fact a reflection of all the entities around it, and that nothing has its own self-abiding existence. And obviously Whitehead, you could basically say that Whitehead's philosophy is an appropriation of dependent origination, or an invention of it, of the exact same principle, independently. But either way, they're basically synonymous. When Whitehead talks about occasions containing within them every other occasion in the universe, or somehow reflecting that, being itself only because of that, of the rest of the universe. It's the same idea. Um, anyways, thanks a lot, Mary, and I look forward to talking about this more, because you're definitely helping me to coordinate this, because it's not easy. But thank you.